The biggest question everybody has is, where is my money? So filming this April 9th around 4 p.m. EST, I wanted to wait a little bit to give you this update just to see if anybody got their direct deposit. So if you've been following this at all, there's been a lot of different dates in the mix. April 9th was supposed to be the first day that direct deposits were sent out. It also happens to be my birthday today, and I checked my bank account to see if I got any cash from the IRS, and I did not. Also, just curious, comment down below how old you think I am. So in this video, I'm going to give you some stimulus check updates, give you a timeline of dates, what we know as of today, because a couple of new things came into play. Talk a little bit about that second check that might come to us, the $500 billion. We'll get more into that later on. Let's just get started. First, let's talk about when we're going to get our money and the updated timeline of when checks and direct deposits are going to be sent out. Back in March, when they signed the bill, we were told April 9th was going to be one of the first days to get direct deposits. Not the case. At least not that I know of. Let me know if you heard anything down in the comments below. Not sure if anything changed from the time of filming this video till it's published. Latest update that I've seen is that direct deposits are going to be sent out April 14th, and as the latest is going to be April 17th. So we'll see. A bunch of numbers being thrown out there. Honestly, I just rather than be honest and say if it's going to take an extra few weeks, rather than say it's going to be sooner and then we're expecting it and then we don't get paid and then that's when people get upset, as opposed to just delaying the actual date in the first place. Before I get into when the checks are going to be mailed out, the physical checks, let's just talk about the IRS portal at the moment. We're still told that the IRS portal is supposed to come any day now. It hasn't, and I think probably one of the reasons why it's delayed is because they have to deal with millions of hits on that website probably within an hour or so, because everyone needs to update their direct deposit information. Now, if it's going to take days, weeks, months, then there really is no point of having the IRS portal in the first place, because then they could just send out paper checks to everybody. Speaking of paper checks, let's talk about the timeline when it comes to when the paper checks are going to be sent out. First day, April 24th, for people who have $10,000 income or less. Then May 1st, another round of checks are going to be sent out to people who have a reported income of $10,001 to $20,000. And May 8th, from $20,000 to $30,000, and month after month, just going in increments by $10,000 until September, so 5 months, is when all of the physical checks should be sent out by. It's reported that the IRS will continue to send paper checks in the order from lowest income to highest income based on 2018 and 2019 taxes that are filed, which makes sense because the people who have lower income, you want to give them the money first compared to the higher income people. They could wait at the back of the line. And then September 4th, the IRS will mail out any remaining checks, such as married couples making $198,000, which is the maximum that a couple could have when they file jointly. And then on September 11th, for anyone who didn't provide any information to the IRS, so if they don't know anything, then that'll be when the remaining checks will be sent. And once you receive your money, whether direct deposit or mailed to you, 15 days later, you will receive a confirmation letter from the IRS. Now, this is where a lot of the scammers are going to try to take advantage of as many people as possible, because if they could provide a letter that looks like the IRS asking for your name, your social, all that type of stuff in order for you to get your check, then that's where they're going to take advantage of people who are in desperate need of money. Just be really careful with all the scams. If you wanted to learn more about what scams are currently happening, go to Better Business Bureau, so bbb.org/scam tracker, and you can see all the different scams that people are doing there. And make sure you tell, I want to say this in a nice way, but the older people, I feel like, are the ones who are more prey for these type of scams. Before we get into the next update about the stimulus bill of $500 billion, potentially giving us a second check, I just want to let you know, if you're looking for consistent stimulus check updates, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to give this information almost every single day and update you. This way you can get your free money. So let's talk about this supposed $500 billion that is going to go back into the economy and maybe give us a second check. I just want to say, let's just worry about the first check. We're not going to get the last of the first checks in September of 2020, which means if we ever do get a second check, probably won't be until 2021. So there is talk of around $500 billion that'll be infused into the economy, but it won't come to us in cash. that we can put in our bank account and use for our daily spending. It'll come in the form of funding smaller businesses, government organizations like SNAP. So it's not going to affect us yet, and there has been no contract signed, nothing official yet. So whatever anyone is saying, it could be sensational about a second check coming. Let's just put that aside, worry about this first check first. The next update will be the TaxAct, which is a company just like TurboTax. So if you want to get your information over to the IRS, then you could use TaxAct pretty much in the same way that you would use TurboTax. I'll have a link down in the description below of how the whole system works with TurboTax, but same thing there. I'll provide a link for TaxAct as well. And I'm sure there'll be a few other tax filing companies that'll do the same thing, since it kind of works, it integrates with their whole interface anyway, so they could just add this extra step and also potentially get more business, help out the IRS, until we finally get the IRS portal where we could just do it ourselves directly with the IRS and not have a middleman like TurboTax or TaxAct. The next update would be, what can we do right now to get our money sooner? So I know we're all anxiously waiting for these checks to come, direct deposits to come. We just want some news. We want the IRS portal. At this time, there's really nothing else you could do. If you've been following the updates the past few days, nothing much has changed in terms of the effort we could put in to get our money. If you filed your taxes 2018 or 19, they have your information. They'll either send you a paper check or direct deposit. If you moved from the last time that you filed your taxes, what's on file with the IRS, I'll have a form down below to send to the IRS so that you could give them the right address, and if they send you a paper check, at least it'll go to the right address and not your previous address. So make sure it's with your current address. Besides that, we're gonna have to do the hardest thing ever, which is to impatiently wait for our checks, direct deposits to come, and for that IRS portal to finally reveal itself so that we can update our direct deposit information. If you want to watch more videos on stimulus check and all that good stuff, you could click this playlist over here. And if you want to get some free money through stocks by signing up through investment apps, you could click this video over here. It talks all about that, and I'll see you in the next video.